Meow. Greetings, friends. I'm Eurogamer's Meow-n Higton. Meow, every member on Eurogamer's video team owns at least one cat. So obviously we've been eagerly awaiting Annapurna's upcoming open-world adventure game Stray, which lets you take control of a kitty as it makes its way through a sci-fi city that's populated by robots. Stray isn't out until 2022 though, so I figured I'd push together a list of 13 perfect games about cats, both old and new, that you can play right meow in order to pass the time. Allow me to give you a bit of a history lesson for this first cat-based video game. This is Alley Cat, one of the earliest games ever released to give us a cat as the main playable character. Programmed by Bill Williams and released in 1983 for the Atari 8-bit and in 1984 for the IBM PC, the game asked players to reunite Freddy the cat with his true love Felicia. To do that, Freddy must clamber up a massive fence, avoiding a myriad of hazards as he goes, and then climb into people's homes through open windows. Inside these homes are various mini-games which must be completed in order to earn enough points to summon Freddy's love interest, who, when reached and kissed, awards Freddy with an extra life. If you want to give Alley Cat a go for yourself, I'm pretty sure the only way to experience the game now is via a browser-based MS-DOS emulator. But if the original game looks a little too dated for you, with a quick Google, you'll be able to find and play the unofficial fan remake Alley Cat Re-Meow Edition, which brings with it updated graphics and even a 4-player multiplayer mode. The Purring Quest is a short adventure platformer that starts off with a cutscene that's so heartbreaking it almost makes the opening of the movie Up look like a cheesy rom-com. Playing as Kimchi the cat, you must find your way back home after your owner, an old man suffering from dementia, accidentally leaves you behind after visiting the grave of his beloved wife. While this does look a little bit like a simple flash game at first glance, the graphics and animations in the Purring Quest were all hand-drawn frame by frame, and this helps bring Kimchi's adventures to life. And as you jump and collect your way through the game's 5 levels, you'll meet and rescue a whole litter of friendly felines, all of whom are based on real-life cats, including some of the more recognisable internet celeb kitties. Yes, the controls are a bit floaty and imprecise at times, making it pretty aggravating to navigate some of the later levels, and yes, it's not the most polished of games, but as a percentage of the game's profits are donated to various animal welfare associations, in my mind, that more than makes up for its faults. As you probably already know, we love cats here at Eurogamer, but that doesn't stop us from being able to admit that cats are jerks. We know it's true, you know it's true, and most of all, they know it's true too. And the fact that they know they can get away with being jerks because they're super cute is perhaps the jerkiest move of all. So, if you can't beat them, why not join them by giving cat lateral damage a go? This first-person, or should that be first-person cat simulator, allows you to play as a cat on a rampage, where your main mission in life is to use your 2 little cat paws to knock as many expensive and breakable things onto the floor as possible. With all the action taking place within procedurally generated buildings, no 2 instances of destruction will ever be the same, so you can relieve your stress by smashing other people's things for as long as you want. Oh, and best of all, there's even a free VR add-on that you can download too, so if you want to fully immerse yourself in the act of being a catastrophic jerk, this would certainly be the best way to go about it. If you like old-school side-scrolling shoot-em-ups, I'm positive that you'll have a great time with Astro Aqua Kitty. Taking place inside mysterious, water-filled asteroids, this action-packed game features more depth than a bucket full of Felix, thanks to its easy-to-understand RPG mechanics. Not only can you pick and level up your crew and upgrade your ships using any XP that you gain, but you can also mine for gems, which can then be exchanged for a whole host of new weapons and devices. These custom loadouts, along with a host of collectible cats with specialised skills like the pilot who'll operate vehicles and turrets, or the mechanic cats that can perform repairs, will help you protect yourself from an ever-increasing army of evil, marauding pirate rabbits. The responsive controls, cool quests and cute graphics, coupled with some really fun character interactions, make all the other non-cat-based shooters feel like inferior products. So if you choose this one to be the pick of the litter, you'll definitely feel like the cat who got the cream. Would you like to become a cat? Well, with Cattails, you can. Well, not physically, that would be impossible, but you can certainly experience what it's like to hunt for food, fight invading cats, and even get meowied and raise a family of kittens in this charming animal simulation RPG. The best way to sum up this adorable game, though, would be to just call it Stardew Valley, but with cats. So if you've ever played and liked that game, you should definitely find most of the gameplay here to be very familiar. At the start of Cattails, you can choose to join one of 3 unique cat colonies, and from there you'll be able to become friends or enemies with its residents, each of whom have their own fleshed out personalities. You can also go exploring for riches in dangerous caves, and you can attend seasonal festivals where you'll be able to compete against other cats to win special prizes. Best of all, though, is that you can create your very own colony of cats by raising a litter of kittens and customizing them to your liking by choosing their names and fur colours. Honestly, if you don't find this game as cute as a bag full of kitties, then you must be an absolute sourpuss. Neko Atsume Kitty Collector is the only mobile game to feature on this list, but this free-to-play game still has bags of personality. The best way to think of Neko Atsume is like a cross between a Tamagotchi and Pokemon, as by purchasing food, cat toys and kitty furniture, you'll be able to slowly attract a variety of cats to your home. Once they've gotten comfy in your abode, you'll be able to interact with them, take photos of them, and receive gifts from them. Although, if they're anything like the gifts that my cat leaves me, they can keep them because, oh Lord, do they honk. There are 66 cats to collect in total, and some of them are much harder to attract than others. The rarest ones have even been given super puntastic names like Mr. Meowgie and Chairman Meow, which is adorable, but you can rename each and every cat to your liking, so there's no reason you can't have a cat called Dave or something if you want it. Incredibly unfairly, the Japanese PSVR store has this unbelievably cute VR version of Neko Atsume for sale, which seriously looks like it might be the best game ever made. But considering that it's been out since 2017 and we've not seen hide nor hair of it over here in the West, I'm feline like Europe and the US may have been completely forgotten about.
I'm back! Hey, buddy!
Love him or hate him, Bubsy the Bobcat is easily one of the most famous video game kitties to have ever clawed his way onto a console. Surprisingly, Bubsy actually has 6 games under his belt, with the most recent, Bubsy Paws on Fire, being released in 2019. But his most famous adventure is easily his first, which was released in 1993 for the Super Nintendo and Sega Mega Drive. Bubsy in Claw's Encounters of the Third Kind saw a race of fabric-loving aliens called Woolies attempt to steal planet Earth's supply of yarn balls, something that Bubsy, the owner of the world's largest collection of yarn balls, obviously objected to. But it wasn't just yarn balls that were being stolen. Just like the majority of mascot games from that era, Bubsy was created specifically to cash in on the success of the Super Mario and Sonic the Hedgehog games. Unfortunately, his annoying catitude turned off a lot of players, and it meant that his games never ever managed to live up to the high standards of the games he was trying to emulate. Konrad's Kittens is a virtual pet game with a difference because, by bringing along your own plush toy to the party, you can turn your virtual cat into a real one. Sort of. By attaching your motion controller to the back of a cuddly toy, in-game Konrad will feel like a fluffy kitten in your real hands, albeit a worryingly still one, that is. There's a nice mix of mini-games to play, and if you do well in them, the points you gain will increase Konrad's experience, and in turn his love for you. Plus there's a load of cosmetics to unlock, including outfits, hats and skins, so you can change Konrad's breed, or even turn him into a wee little baby panda. If your heart has room for even more cuteness though, the most recent update for Konrad has also added little orphaned kittens to the game, which you and Konrad will have to take care of by feeding, cleaning and playing with them. It's not the most polished of VR titles by a long shot, and the gameplay is often really basic at the best of times, but for the younger gamers amongst us who maybe desperately want a pet but don't have room, or for those of us out there who just want to chill out, forget about the big bad world outside and look after something cute, it's definitely worth a purchase. Blinx the Time Sweeper came out on the original Xbox in 2002, and it was billed as the world's first 4D action-adventure game. In it, Blinx, a lowly time janitor, is on a mission to prevent the end of the snappily named world B1Q64. Armed only with his trusty TS-1000 vacuum cleaner, which looks weirdly like a plastic electric guitar, Blinx can utilise 5 unique time controls to speed up, slow down, reverse and pause time, and he can even use it to record a moment in time too. This leads to some really fiendish time-based puzzle platforming action, as Blinx battles against an evil group of pigs known as the Tom Tom Gang. While innovative at the time, the action here doesn't translate too well to the modern era, and some of the gameplay restrictions can often feel a bit unfair. This has led newer players to exclaim that the game both sucks and blows, but for those of us who played it originally, I'm sure this ancient gameplay trailer here is a nice trip down Meow-mery Lane. If you did want to give Blinx a try now, by the way, but you don't have an OG Xbox littering your home, don't worry, you won't need to risk a visit from Claw Enforcement by using a dodgy emulated copy, because Blinx was recently added to Microsoft's Game Pass, so you can now play it easily and legally on both the PC and the modern Xbox consoles. I've decided to include both Cat Quest games for this next section, as you're able to pick them both up for a discounted price in a Pawsome bundle over on Steam. The Cat Quest games are set in the world of Felingard, and these open-world RPGs have been likened to Diablo but with cats and a super cute Skyrim. And cute they definitely are, with bright, bold and beautiful hand-drawn graphics that are just bursting with personality. The real-time combat keeps the action flowing at a nice speed, while the baskets of equipment will allow customization-loving cat adventurers to tailor their look towards their chosen playstyle. The world of Felingard is also littered with interesting places to visit, and of course they all have amazing cat-themed puns for names, like the Bermuda Triangle and the Forbidden Fields. The sequel, Cat Quest 2, expands on what the first game offered by allowing you to journey beyond the confines of Felingard, and it's also the Meowst fun, as this one lets you team up with a friend to explore those lands in a local cooperative mode. The Cat Quest games really are a treat, so go get your paws on them right now and let the bite-sized RPG action whisker you away on some delightful adventures. Cats, robots, and a ZX Spectrum aesthetic. What's not to love? Okay, so Gato Roboto here may sound like it was made especially for me, but honestly, this cool cat-themed Metroid clone has something for everyone. You play as Kiki the cat, a cute monochrome kitty who just so happens to have accidentally crashed their owner's spaceship on a hostile alien planet. Although, knowing cats, Kiki probably did it on purpose. Either way, Kiki's captain is now stranded in the wreckage, so it's up to this pixelated puss to climb into the comfy confines of a mech suit and explore the planet and find a way to save the ship. The gameplay here is fast and frantic, but the tight, precise controls mean that moving Kiki around is a piece of puss. Plus, there's plenty of environmental puzzles in here to solve, which will open up brand new areas and really scratch that Metroidvania itch. Gato Roboto isn't exactly a long game, clocking in at only around 3 to 4 hours worth of gameplay, but it has a price point to match, so you won't make too much of a dent in your purse if you decide to Gato it for your collection. Considering Nintendogs was such a hit for Nintendo, it does seem weird to me that, instead of making a Ning Cats game, they instead just shoved 3 breeds of cats into a Nintendog sequel and called it Nintendogs and Cats, rather than, giving the cats the full game treatment that they deserved. Huh, talk about a Meowst opportunity. But where Nintendo don't, Ubisoft, Ubidoo? Because in 2006 it released a series of animal-themed games named Petz. There was a dogs one, a hamsters one, a horses one, and even a dolphins one. But of course, we only care about cats here, so all those other animals can get me out of here. Cats, aka Petz: Cats 2, is a really odd game because there were 2 different versions of it depending on what platform you played on. The PC and Nintendo DS went for a classic Nintendog-style virtual pet game, with 11 breeds of cats to care for, but the Wii and PS2 version really jumped the, sharks by giving players an adventure game about talking, hat-wearing kittens that needed to defeat an evil wolf named Ivlet before it could use the power of chaos to destroy the world. Surely that can't be a real game. Someone out there must be kidding me. Garfield may hate Mondays, but if this Garfield Kart Furious Racing gameplay is anything to go by, he certainly doesn't hate burning rubber. Burning lasagnas, on the other hand, well, let's not even dare to think about the outcome if that were to happen. Garfield Kart Furious Racing is of course your standard brightly coloured, family-friendly Mario Kart ripoff, but in this game, all the action takes place on tracks that have been directly inspired by the world of Garfield. You can take part in Grand Prix, single races, and even time trials in solo, couch co-op, and online multiplayer modes around tracks like Pale Rock Lake, the Pasta Cozy Factory, and this place, which I guess is meant to be like Garfield Street or something? With 8 players to choose from, including Garfield, Odie, John, and Nermal, and then 4 other ones that I've literally never heard of before, and with a bunch of offensive and defensive weapons like the Spring Mine and the Homing Pie to play with, there's plenty of catastrophic kart-based action ahead of you. Oh, and if you're thinking that Garfield wouldn't be seen dead in a whiny little go-kart like this one here, don't worry, because his other car is a Ferrari.
Meow! And cats all, folks. If I've missed anything from your catalogue of favourite feline games, do let us know in the comments below. Meow, 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 meow. Hopefully you enjoyed this video despite all the cat puns. If you did, please do give it a like, subscribe to Eurogamer for daily videos about video games, and if you fancy it, why not click that join button and become a member so you can check out our exclusive members only video that's all about our pets. Right, that's me done now, but if you fancy sticking around with us for a bit longer, why not try me out some of our other list videos that are on screen and clickable right meow. Okay, while you're choosing which video to watch, I need to try and find myself a mint or something, because while that video was playing out, I finally worked out how to clean my undercarriage, and let's just say, oh, it's left a rather nasty taste in my meows. Meow, 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 meow. I'm a cat. I'm a cat. Meow, 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 meow. I'm a cat.